I was talking to my friend Kathryn the other day. She's my voice teacher, which is funny because we were talking during my lesson instead of me singing my song I'm working on. Anyway, we were talking about my YouTube channel and she's been watching my videos. And she told me that she really loved the one about the history of money. I'll link it in the description. That's the one where we talked about what changed in 1971 when we went off the gold standard. She said, I had no idea about any of this. Nobody ever taught me this stuff. And I told her, Kathryn, there are thousands of videos on YouTube. This is how I learned this information. There's probably hundreds of channels that are way better than mine explaining the exact same thing. And she looked at me and said, then why doesn't everyone know this? Great question. Welcome back to Decoded with Laura. Today, we need to talk about why most people don't know how money works, even though the information is literally free and available to anyone with an internet connection. Let's break it down. We have more access to information than any generation in history. YouTube is free, the library is free, and Google is free. There are thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of videos explaining exactly what I explain in my videos. How money works, how to invest, what gives something value, what happened in 1971, and why inflation happens. Some of these channels have better presenters than me, more credentials, bigger production budgets, millions of subscribers. The information is out there. And yet, financial literacy in this country is at an all-time low. Most people don't know how money works. They don't know what inflation actually is beyond prices go up. They don't know what the Federal Reserve does. They don't know what happened in 1971. And they don't know how to invest beyond put money in a 401k and hope for the best. So what's going on? If the information exists and it's free, why don't people know this stuff? That's the paradox, and I think that there are a few reasons. First, you don't know what you don't know. Think about it. You go through school, elementary, middle school, high school, maybe college, and at no point does anyone sit you down and say, hey, you need to understand how money works. You need to know what happened in 1971. You need to understand inflation and interest rates and how the financial system actually operates. They don't teach it. You graduate, you get a job, you start earning money, and you just figure it out as you go. You know you need a bank account. You know you should probably save some money. Maybe someone tells you to open up a 401k, but nobody ever told you you need to understand the deeper stuff. You don't know that 1971 matters. You don't know what the gold standard was and why it ended. You don't know what the Federal Reserve actually does. You don't know how fractional reserve banking works. You don't know that there is this whole world of knowledge that would completely change how you think about money because you don't know what you don't know. So you never go looking for it, even though it's right here for free, waiting for you. You can't search for something if you don't know it exists. Okay, so let's say you do realize you need to learn. Maybe you hit a financial crisis. Maybe you hear someone mention something and it clicks that you're missing some important information. Maybe you just get curious. So you go to YouTube and you search, how does money work? 10 million results. Which video do you watch? Which channel do you trust? Which book do you read? You click on one video and it's a finance bro in a suit talking about liquidity and monetary policy and quantitative easing, and you have no idea what any of those words mean. You click on another video. It's a guy screaming about how gold is the only real money and the government is coming for your savings and you need to buy his course. You click on another. It's a 3-hour academic lecture that puts you to sleep in 10 minutes. You feel overwhelmed. You don't know where to start. You don't know who to trust, and you don't understand the jargon. And so you give up. Or, and this happens a lot, you watch one video and you don't understand it. You just assume you are just too dumb to get it. So you stop trying. Paralysis by analysis. Too much information and no clear path forward. Too overwhelming. and you just go back to just not knowing, even though the information is there, even though it's free. So here's where I come in. And look, I want to be really clear about something. I am not special. I don't have a finance degree. I don't have an economics background. I am not smarter than you. And honestly, there are better presenters than me, better production quality, fancy studios, professional lighting, big teams. My setup is not fancy. I am literally just sitting here talking to you. But maybe that's the point. Maybe my conversational approach is what helps it click for you. We are just friends talking here. I am not going to impress you with how smart I am or how much I know. I'm not going to try to sell you a course or push some agenda. I'm just trying to share what I learned in a way that makes sense. Because here's the thing, I learned this stuff the same way you will: YouTube videos, books, articles, trial and error, making mistakes, asking questions. I didn't go to a special school for this. I didn't have a mentor teaching me in secret. I just got curious and I started learning, and I kept learning. What I'm trying to do with this channel is make it accessible, relatable, not overwhelming. Break through the noise by being a real person on a real journey, not a finance bro in a suit, not a conspiracy theorist screaming at you, and not an academic lecturing you. Just me talking to you like we're having coffee. And if I can learn this, you can too. And look, maybe my channel is the one that clicks for you. Maybe it's someone else's channel. That's great either way. There are amazing creators out there doing this work, some of them way better than me. The point isn't that I'm the only person explaining this stuff. The point is start somewhere. Pick a channel, pick a book, pick a podcast. Just start. Because yes, the information is out there, but it doesn't do you any good if you never access it. And there's something else Kathryn let me know. She's been talking to her sister about this, and she let me know that what I'm teaching about 1971 and inflation and money and how it actually works. They're having real conversations. And that is how this all spreads, person to person. When you learn something that changes your perspective, share it. Don't gatekeep knowledge. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, send them a video, recommend a book. Your friend or sister might not stumble across my channel or anyone else's channel, but they might trust you. You might be the person who breaks through the noise for them. You might be the one who makes them realize, wait, I don't actually know how money works, and I should. That is powerful. So when you learn something, share it. Don't assume everyone already knows, because they don't. I didn't. Kathryn didn't know. And she's smart. She is educated. She's successful. But nobody ever taught her this stuff until now. And she is sharing with her sister. That is how it all happens. So thanks, Kathryn, for watching and asking the question that needed to be asked. If this is your first time hearing about any of this, welcome. You're not late. You are right on time. Hit subscribe if you want more. I'll see you in the next one.